This is Inside Indiana Business Radio on demand for Thursday, April 6. I'm Gary Dick. Two Indiana powerhouses are joining forces to improve how doctors diagnose Alzheimer's disease. Roche Diagnostics and Eli Lilly and Company working to create a routine blood test that could help spot the disease much earlier. Typically, doctors do a PET scan to look for the buildup of amyloid protein in the brain to diagnose Alzheimer's, but Roche says its test will be able to find the same proteins in the blood. Roche Vice President of Medical and Scientific Affairs, Dr. Corinne Fonce, told Business of Health reporter Kylie Valletta the test could narrow the gap for patients who are typically diagnosed after nearly 3 years of the onset of the symptoms.
What excites me most about this collaboration is that we have two companies that have aligned vision, shared objective to support a better, timely diagnosis for patients and access to future therapies. We're aligned in that vision, and doing that would accelerate access to an earlier diagnosis and treatment.
A talent attraction program in southern Indiana is widening its scope. Bedford-based regional economic development organization Radius Indiana says it is expanding the Choose Southern Indiana initiative with a new incentive program for employers. The Naval X Midwest Tech Bridge and Naval Surface Warfare Center Crane Division have opened registration for the second annual Propels initiative. That program seeks potential licensees to commercialize patented technology developed by the Navy. As part of the program, a tech expo will be held April 26 to showcase 4 patented innovations. Potential licensees will then take part in a week-long business accelerator to develop commercialization plans for the technology with the help from Crane and The Mill, a nonprofit startup accelerator in Bloomington. From the state's #1 source for Indiana business news, you're listening to Inside Indiana Business Radio. Get ready, Southwest Indiana. We're headed your way. IBJ Media, Inside Indiana Business, and the Indiana Economic Development Corporation invite you to the second annual Engage Southwest Indiana event, presented by CareSource, Indiana University, and Old National Bank. Tuesday, April 11th at the Old National Events Plaza in Evansville. We'll be diving into regional and statewide initiatives with a focus on talent, education, and issues shaping our economy. More at ibj.com/engage. Officials from Gary Chicago International Airport gathered with city and national leaders on Wednesday to commemorate $6 million in federal funding awarded to support air cargo infrastructure enhancements there. The airport said the funding will help maintain its air cargo service sector's position as an economic driver in Northwest Indiana. The University of St. Francis has announced that President the Reverend Eric Zimmer will step down at the end of the current academic year. The Fort Wayne-based university said Zimmer plans to pursue other opportunities within the church and academia. The American Civil Liberties Union has filed a federal lawsuit challenging legislation banning gender-affirming medical care for minors, roughly 1 hour after Governor Eric Holcomb signed the bill into law. Senate Enrolled Act 480 prohibits any physician or practitioner from providing gender transition procedures to an individual under the age of 18. The Indiana Destination Development Corporation is awarding more than $400,000 to support nearly 40 public art activation and placemaking grants in 26 counties. Lieutenant Governor Suzanne Crouch says each project will put Indiana's character and culture on display for Hoosiers and visitors. This is Gary Dick for Inside Indiana Business Radio on Demand.